What is Jump King's favorite part of the house? The smokin' hot babes mint. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Welcome in. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday to everybody. I just remembered. I don't know if you're listening, Jelly. I think we forgot to take the trash out to the curb. I might need a reminder to take a BRB and do that later. Welcome in, everyone. We've got Dead Zergling first in chat, followed by EpiPen, Lucent Jelly. We've got Game and Fit, and shout outs to Loyal to Soil as well, I think, who is also lurking. Welcome in, all. I had a little bit of tech issues. I almost thought we weren't going to get to play Jump King tonight. I couldn't get the audio to work. It just wouldn't come through the capture. I tinkered with everything, and finally, you know, unplugging it and plugging it back in for the sixth time was the charm. So it looks like Jump King is working. We're gonna get a little bit of practice in with this one. I've been at it for a while. Our session count is a little off because I had to start and exit out of the game a couple times, but the hour count should be correct. 65 and a half hours, and we haven't played it since early last week, I think. So definitely gonna be rusty tonight. Don't expect to make real progress. Just gotta de-rust a little bit, and maybe when we play it again on Friday, I'll be sharp enough to hit a new PB. I mean, I'm certainly not going to complain if any progress happens tonight. Look at how high I'm climbing right away. Whenever I come back to this game after a long rest, I immediately start off by doing really well. Isn't it odd that I play this game best when I'm least familiar with it? We're already at the tower. I've only been playing the game a minute tonight. I gotta play this game less often. What is going on? It's like I've been practicing off screen. Hey, Vintage, welcome in. Somehow I make it in so rarely, but it's always when you're playing Jump King. Always great to see you, Vintage. I hope you've been doing well. I haven't quite been able to catch a lot of your stream lately, unfortunately. I've been wrapping a little bit earlier. The past like 2 weeks. But I'm very grateful to have you drop in. Hope you're doing well. All is well. All is well. No complaints from me. The plot thickens, Game and Fit says. I hope everything's well on your end also, Vintage. Alright, my beginner's luck has worn off again, so we're back down to the bottom. I need your zen today. Share your chill with me, friend. Everything is chaos. Oh no. That's not good to hear. People in the chat often remark about my zen and my calm, and you know, it's kind of flattering when they do, but at the same time, I also think that, I mean, the stream bears evidence. I feel like, you know, I get twisted into all kinds of knots on this stream. I don't know that my zen and calm is necessarily all it's cracked up to be sometimes. Some of these games have me really out of sorts. And I'm certainly no stranger to stress and turmoil. Hey, Laser, welcome in. Thank you for the pistachios. Love any opportunity to stop and take a snack. Enjoy a snack. Take a snack. That doesn't... Take a snack break, perhaps? Let's take a snack break. Which of these pistachios do I want to have? I want to have some that are salted. Are these salted? These are salted. These are Turkish. It says Turkish pistachios. I don't know that I don't know what's different about Turkish pistachios as like compared to those sourced from other areas. They have a kind of greenish gray tint about them. If pistachios weren't already kind of greenish, I would feel a little worried. They have more of a turkey flavor to them. Pew, pew. Just juggling lots of different work, study, parenting responsibilities at the moment. Not great at multitasking, to be honest. Well, I wish you calm and I wish you strength. Moving through everything. I don't think I've ever witnessed it. It may be a very quiet form of out of sorts. These pistachios are really good. They're, they taste very rich. These pistachios, they taste very rich. It's amazing. said parenting responsibilities at Vintage. I don't think that I actually knew that you had kids. I don't know if I'm horribly forgetful or if it just has never happened to come up on the stream while I've been there. But that gives me another opportunity to mention how my wife and I are expecting a baby in a couple months. So we're planning to join the club in early October. So we have a lot of excitement. We have a lot of excitement going on our end. Some of my hairs are trying to escape from my mustache. Hey, thank you for the congrats. We are quite excited. We've been looking forward. Some of them we've been looking forward to for a very long time. Be sure to thank the stork when he arrives. Game and Fit says. I'll give him a generous tip. And I suppose a cigar is a traditional gift. I had to stop. Why did I have to stop at such a quiet part of the game? Alright, this is the last pistachios. They're so very good. Mine are 8 and 12, Vintage says. Very different kettle of fish from the newborn days. I'll say. I usually call them the house goblins on the stream. It's probably not clear I mean actual children and not like cats, Vintage says. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I heard house goblins. I don't know if I would infer the right meaning from the context. House goblins. Oh. I thought the cycle was going to repeat for a third time. So my days are filled with a lot of busy work around the house and like making preparations to get the what will be the nursery ready and make the house in general like safe and more habitable, because it's been a disaster since we moved in, basically. We had an odd situation where we our house was already completely furnished and filled when we moved in with the previous owner's things, and it wasn't clear for quite a while whether or not we were going to become the next owners of the house. And so we spent a long time like not unpacking our stuff and not clearing out the previous occupants' things, and then after we bought the house, like everything in it came with it, so we've had this like really messy situation of like having to get rid of an entire house worth of stuff in order like to make room for this for our stuff to unpack our own things, and it's just it's been an overwhelming process that's kind of taken us years. A lot of nesting to do. No, the doc says it looks like we're having a baby boy. I broke my no spoilers policy. I let the doctor give us a spoiler. How exciting for you both. Thank you, Vintage. Thank you. Either way, it's just as exciting, of course. I couldn't wait to know both times. I have 2 girls, Vintage says. Yeah, I don't think either of us had a particular preference. The one advantage there would have been if we had found out that we were having a girl. The one advantage to that would have been that we already had a name picked out. So we still don't know, and we probably we won't really decide probably until the baby actually arrives. But we're still we've got a small pool of names that we kind of change our minds about on a daily basis. Hey, Stream Kyle, welcome in. Thank you for the 7 stream streak, my friend. Seven streams. It's almost a week. You have to meet them to know for sure, I think. My first daughter, we were debating the name until the last week. The second was literally the first name my husband suggested. Turmoil. Cows, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, my friend. Welcome to more Jump King peril. I hope you've had a fantastic day. I bought one of those, here's my exciting adventure of the day. I bought one of those, things to, like, degrease and de-lime scale your dishwasher. And I actually bought two different ones. because I've never done that with our dishwasher before. I figure it's long overdue. So I ran one product through it earlier this evening, and the second product is running through it now, and I'm very excited to do a load of dishes tomorrow and see how clean they come out. That's the big excitement of my life. Is I'm looking forward to washing the dishes tomorrow. That's what's going on with me. No, it's an old dishwasher. I mean, it's new-ish. We've had it for a while. We've had it for a couple years. It's doing a less good job. It's doing a less good job than it used to. It's not disastrous, but I've not been completely satisfied with the results I've been getting from it for a little while, and I figure that probably because I haven't properly done routine maintenance. So hoping I can make up for lost time and get it behaving properly again. Hey Derek, welcome in. Thank you for the wheel. Do that in just a moment. Let me make a couple more jumps here real quick. Hashtag adulting, EpiPen says. We bought our house from family. It was a situation where we moved in just to be caretakers, and the house ended up going to market, and so we like, well, we already live here. And we sort of got a discount for being family, but you probably wouldn't be envious of the discount we got. It was still within the range of fair market value. It's just we got it at the lower end because we were family. Alright, and let's go ahead and spin that wheel. Yeah, was it only $5 off with a family coupon that expires right now? Oh. No, it had it had to be watched over because the family member that owned it wasn't in good shape, and then eventually it had to be sold. And the owner wasn't in condition to sell it, and the other relative had who had the power of attorney was had to was obligated to obtain a fair market value for it when they sold it. So like we had to. So we had, you know, we didn't get much of a discount for being family. Hey Bella, Jeff, welcome in. It's a complicated situation. Alright, so let's spin the wheel. Everything we like goes into a bidding war, EpiPen says, and sells for 30 grand above the ask. Number 7, that is Warheads candy. I haven't had a Warheads candy in ages. Let's go. I forgot these were even on the wheel. Let me grab a random flavor. Lemon. I know that it's supposed to be a spicy wheel, and Warheads candies are not spicy, they're sour, but it's my wheel. I play by my own rules. It still falls into the umbrella of abrasive foods. Oh, except, can I even get it out of the wrapper? Oh. Oh. That's more powerful than I remember. Alright, I'm through the worst of it. We've gone from chemical burn to just regular lemon candy. Have you tried the hot Warheads? They're gross. No, I haven't, Vintage. I haven't checked those out. I really like the sour ones. I love sour Warheads. I can sit and just eat these one after another until the sour like chemical powder on the outside burns through the skin of my mouth. It's not good. Even better if they would have given you a coupon for Arby's and you say we hate Arby's. I actually enjoy Arby's. I know that there's I know Arby's gets some hate. But I don't know, I like it. This piece of candy I'm having right now is the first, like, It's the first, like, piece of sugar, like, it's the first sugary thing I've had in a very long time now. I like Arby's too, it's pretty good, Derek says. EpiPen says you can't cut up a house 5 ways, but you can sell it and cut up the money. Did they, I think they say extreme sour. I don't know that I've ever even, I don't know that I've seen ones that don't. Yeah, they say extreme sour. I don't know that it even occurred to me there was another level of warhead. I feel like maybe you have to go out of your way to find the less sour ones. At least around these parts. I really like Jolly Ranchers candies. But I get kind of tired of the standard 5 flavors. So like I usually want to find like berry flavors or tropical or something like that. But they're so difficult to find. Like everywhere around here. All the grocery shops, all the gas stations, they just stock the regular 5 flavors. If I want some non-standard Jolly Ranchers, I've got to turn to the internet. Just buy a box of lemon heads, all the low sour warheads you could want. Yeah, I guess lemon heads are like low sour warheads. Lemon heads aren't lemon heads are real mild. They're good though. I like them. I like a lemon heads candy. That being said, I probably haven't had one in like a decade. Or, you know, rather a box of them, because they, as I recall, they tend to be small things that you eat a whole bunch of when you have them. They're not a have just one type of candy. For all my good luck in the Cat Tower, I'm doing real terrible in the Phantom Tower. And if you're curious, yes, this is what good luck looks like in the Cat Tower. This many falls and it's still considered good luck. The wheel probably has a 1 in 4 bias. The wheel gets into moods where it will land on the same numbers for a while, it seems like. But it's not so consistent that like the numbers that it consistently lands on stay consistent for all that long. I'll get a lot of the same numbers for a while, and then I'll get a lot of another pair of numbers for a while, it seems. Sure, it's a complex interaction between that miniature wheel weighing part of it down and the strength that I get in the habit of spinning it with, and all kinds of things. My 8-year-old and I love going to the arcade, Vintage says. We win warheads a lot from the machines there. They have both kinds in, and if you don't check which one you picked, it can be a real shock. I imagine so. I played a Contra arcade machine a little while back, and by that I mean a few months ago. I don't think I ever mentioned. It wasn't really a fantastic experience. Oh, I think it was a Super C. I think it was Super Contra actually, as I remember. I did horribly. My quarter swiftly went to waste. My NES Super C skills do not translate to the arcade machine in any way whatsoever. I actually don't like arcade video games very much, though. Like, if I'm in an arcade, I want to play something more like real physics, like pinball or like even like skee ball. I like those kind of things for like machines. A lot of those like win a prize machines are like very like, you know, notoriously scams. But when it comes to video gaming, I've always preferred at-home video gaming, and always with consoles. I just never, I could just never really connected with arcade machines. Just, arcade machines are like interesting works of art, but I don't know, standing up at the machine and using the like arcade joystick instead of a D-pad, none of that's ever really appealed to me. I've always preferred the home experience. Arcades are so expensive these days, but good fun. Yeah, I imagine so. I bought Sour Patch Kids Oreos, Derek says. I didn't even know that was a thing that existed. They're yummy. No, Derek, I didn't. I had such a hard time with the NES and the Genesis games. I didn't make it to the Super NES game again. Once again, I failed. Those other Battletoads are just too rough. They're holding me back. Skee ball, my beloved cow says. Yeah, I like skee ball. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it at all, but I love to play it. I was at an arcade recently, Billo Jeff says. I played House of the Dead. Oh, you know what? Light gun games. Those are something that I never play a lot at home. Like, that's a type of arcade machine that I've never had a good, like, at-home light gun experience post Duck Hunt. I know that they probably exist. I've just never owned one. A light gun for any other console. Though I will say, between when it comes to House of the Dead, for me, I'll pick Typing of the Dead every time. I'm more a Typing of the Dead kind of guy with that particular title. And my keyboard skills are trash. I gotta play on easy mode. We like anything which is like a carnival type game, and the coin pushers, etc. Vintage said, yeah, those kind of real world physics things I think are a lot of fun. Chuck E. Cheese pizza was disgusting. Jeff says, I don't even remember. I think I went to a Chuck E. Cheese twice in my entire life. And actually, I think I went to a Chuck E. Cheese once, and I think I went to a Showbiz once. I remember at Six Flags there was a game where the person working, if they guessed the right info about you, they win and you lose. Well, that seems like that would be easy to win. What's to stop you from lying? Other than your natural rigid code of ethics, of course. Hey, Pint, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Is the classical version of World of Warcraft considered a retro game? I don't know. I don't know, Pint. I don't know anything about Warcraft. I'd have to defer to the wisdom of a more experienced PC gamer. Japan has a lot of cool machines, though. There's a Luigi's Mansion arcade game where the vacuum is like a light gun. I've heard of this. I've heard of the Luigi's Mansion arcade game. I don't know anything really about it other than it exists. I would be up for giving it a try. I'm a big enough Luigi's Mansion fan that I would have to give it a try. Rhythm arcade games are fun. Vanilla World of Warcraft came out in '04. That's 20 years old. I don't look at retro games the same way other people do, though. I don't look at it as a sliding scale. For me, what I really consider what I really consider retro gaming, or at least so far as I'm interested in it, is permanently frozen with a cutoff of around the year 2000. For me, retro games are all about when games used to be about bits. When games stopped being about bits and started being about polygons, I wasn't interested anymore. And, you know, pretty much the year 2000, the gap between the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, that's where it happened. All that, the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, all that generation, they were advertised with how many polygons they could push. When we started talking about pushing polygons and no one talked about bits anymore, that was the end of everything. Yeah, that's what I think too, Jeff. I think we need a larger vocabulary. To have only two categories of retro and modern is not useful. I would go with that. Classic gaming, anything before 2000. Retro gaming, anything 2000. Anything 20 plus years old. I'd go for that. Can we create a classic category on Twitch? I don't actually want that. Let's not divide the retro community. Ignore that suggestion. And 20 plus years is the standard for vintage, but I think games become vintage faster than that. If it doesn't run on the current Windows, it's vintage. Vintage says. I mean, it's right there in your name. I can hardly argue with you. Are remakes of retro games considered retro games? Although it was pointed out to me that when something is retro, it like the term itself means that something is a throwback. So even to use the word retro of games that are legitimately old is maybe a bad practice altogether. Like, the term retro should apply to modern games that are made in the style of older games, i.e. Jump King. How far are you in this? Well, see, it's hard to say, Jeff, because I can't look ahead because that would be spoilers. So I don't really know how much is in front of me. So I can't say what percentage. I can't ever say what percentage I've completed. I'm So there's the place I am right now. There's like, the game changes environments every like 3 to 5 screens. You generally like 5 every 5 screens or so. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 3 environments below me There's this environment here that we're currently in. There are 2 environments above me that I know about. But the highest one that I know of, I don't think can possibly be the last. Stylistically, it doesn't look like the end of the game. So there's at least 1 environment above the highest one I've ever seen, but probably more than 1. And if each of those has, like, you know, just say 5 screens, then I'm like at least 15 to 20 screens away from the top. But I could be, I mean, for all I know, it could be 100 away from the top. Like, I don't know how brutal to get. I don't know how brutal this map is. Well, so with Jump King, you might not be up to speed on the Jump King lore. I've actually beaten the game. I've actually beaten Jump King 3 times. My first playthrough, I completed, when was that? March? Maybe? I actually reached the top and reached the ending for the first time. But there are there's multiple pathways through the game. There are multiple endings. Well, kind of. There's the main game. There's the original Jump King, the base game, and it's just a vertical climb, if I understand it correctly. Then they released a DLC which added a branching path off of the original main map. And that's actually what I beat first, because on my first playthrough, I accidentally stumbled into the DLC, and I stubbornly dug my heels in and refused to retreat from the challenge of the DLC. And so I beat the DLC map first, and then I went back and I beat the main game map, and then I was trying to find the second DLC map, which is where we are now. And I couldn't find it at first because you have to access it from the menu on the start screen, and I didn't select the right thing, so I went around the whole game another time trying to find an entrance to DLC 2 that didn't exist. And so I ended up just beating the DLC 1 again at the end of the night. And now we're on a separate playthrough of the game where we're on DLC 2, which is the final quest through the game. How's that for a super unclear explanation? But to reach credits for the first time, my first playthrough where I beat DLC 1 first, to reach credits for the first time took me 93 hours. It took me 93 hours over the course of about 2 years. I mean, I was playing it really inconsistently. There were huge gaps. Where I didn't play it for months or weeks at a time. Around about hour 75, I made a fresh commitment to Jump King, and I started a project where I played the game every night for 2 hours a night. And that's when I started really making progress, and I got to the credits. After I got to credits once, when we restarted and I did the main game path, I beat the game in under 5 hours. The main story was real. The quote unquote main story was real easy once I had finished it once. Because you have to do a significant, well, actually you don't. I thought for a long time that you had to do a significant portion of the first map before you could actually complete DLC 1, but that's not true. I just did on my playthrough. And so now DLC 2, I'm 66 and a half hours in to this quest. You really like Jump King. I actually do. I actually do really love this game. And the thing is, I hated this game for a long time. When I was stuck there in the middle of that 93-hour playthrough, there were times where I was in such despair and hopelessness. You would not think it possible that I could claw my way out of that misery. But things got a lot better for me. Things got a lot better for me when I actually saw the credits for the first time. When I actually started making progress toward the credits again. Like my spirit started to be revived, and then actually clearing one of the paths really re-solidified it. It re-solidified my love for the game, and now I'm unshakable. Now I'm unshakable. Now Jump King is easily among my favorites. There would never be disharmony between the two of us ever again. I hated this game until I loved it. Bellard, Master Tuesday, welcome in. Frownie, my man, that sounds an awful lot like Stockholm Syndrome. That's I've been warned about that a few times. It doesn't. All I can say, Tuesday, is it doesn't look like that from inside the cage. And happy Tuesday, if I didn't say. It's good to see you again. You play anything long enough, you'll learn to like it. Happened to me with Castlevania: The Adventure. What a time! What a time that game is. I almost never enjoy a first playthrough anymore, to be honest, Vintage says. No matter how good the game is, I find learning curves a struggle. So, I'd kind of, like, well... I don't think that lines up with how I feel exactly. I do sometimes have to play a game multiple times to really warm up to it. It's actually a great benefit. It's actually a great benefit of games where you have limited lives and continues. Right, like things like Battletoads or Contra. Something that's like a game that's really tough that doesn't give you unlimited resources. Like, one of the great benefits is that it forces you to replay the game several times, and that gives me an opportunity to, like, really come to understand and appreciate and like games that I otherwise might not. Like, so many times, like, people complain about games that have, like, limited continues and limited lives. And I really think, looking at it from a clear-headed perspective, it's actually usually preferable that you're not given unlimited tries. I think being forced to restart is actually a very good thing. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna complain when I have to restart a hard game. But in the moment, it's painful, and I'm gonna complain just like anyone else. But when I think about it, like, there are so many games that, like, I don't know if I would love them the way I do if I just got to make my way through on one pass. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure I would love Battletoads the way I do if I had been given unlimited continues and beat it on, like, the first or second night. Now, that never would have happened because of the Klinger Winger, but you know, let's just assume the hypothetical works. I probably would have walked away thinking Battletoads is a pretty trash game. That jump is free. There's no excuse to miss that. I think Alien 3. Alien 3 is another game that, like... Alien 3 made a really bad first impression on me. And I just, yeah, I could have very easily walked away from that game. Just like I could have very easily walked away from that game, just thinking it was terrible and hating it forever. I'm really glad I gave that one another look because like it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn to begin to like that game. But Alien 3 on the Genesis, um, I've heard it's a different game on other platforms. So I'm specifically talking about the Genesis version or Mega Drive. Um, that's a that's a game I'm really glad. That's a game I'm really glad that I didn't walk away from, but I gave it another opportunity and sunk my teeth into it. And then when I started to figure out the game, I was rewarded with a real treat. It's a really good game. But it doesn't necessarily make itself likable right out of the gate. No, overshot. Alright, when I was talking about the game having different environments, this environment here, the Halted Ruin, this is the highest environment I've ever reached. We've been up here several times, but I've never seen what the world above this area looks like. And this area here just aesthetically cannot be the end of the game. So that there has to be at least one other environment above this, and probably more than one. Enigma Wave. He's coming in with a raid. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome to Jump King. The most nightmarish of all platformers. Welcome to Jump King. I hope you've had a fantastic stream. I'd love to hear, Enigma, what was happening in your corner of the retro world. If you have the time and energy to share with us a little bit. Welcome in, Sots. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in, is that Axio? I think I've been taught how to say I think I've been taught how to say this name before, and I've slept since then. So I welcome correction. We've fallen from here several times too, Game and Fit points out. That we have, my friend. I mean, Game and Fit says I put the fear of God into a cat on one of my walks recently. I had death metal music playing in my head and started singing gibberish to match the music. And there was a cat nearby, and when I started quote unquote singing, he bolted. I might have run in fear too, Game and Fit, if it was if I was out for a walk late at night and I started hearing an undiscernible language to the tune of death metal from coming from parts unknown, I might pick up my pace a little bit. Night Dive Studios is remastering a Doom-like alien game coming soon. Enigma says it was time for Windows 95. Big project finished. Pink shareware CD is done. All 400 games demoed, or if they didn't run, at least the descriptions. Read from the catalog program. Final category which completed tonight was the strategy / logic category. Oh, that's a rough category for me. But congratulations. Well, GG's on a big project completed. Very exciting. It sounded like burp singing at best, Game and Fit says. So this part is tricky, as I'm sure you've noticed. The physics change as you move in and out of the water in this area. It's like a time shifting mechanic, which the jumps themselves are not impossibly difficult, but there's a couple places where failure is just punished severely. So it's hard to stay in this region. It's very hard to stay in this region for a meaningful amount of time. I almost undershot that. That would have been horrible. Hey, Subject Omega, welcome in. Yeah, back to Jump King for a little longer tonight. We'll probably quit with Jump King when we fall out of this area. Because I want to make sure I have plenty of time for Warlock. That's the game coming up next. And I think my odds of climbing this high a second time in one night are pretty slim. Well, it was fun while it lasted. I will make an effort to get back up there, of course. But I'm not super hopeful. It gets worse with every jump, does it not? That was... We were 2 screens away from my PB. I've been... As high as I've been has been 2 screens above our highest point that we reached tonight. So that's not great. That's not great, you know. Ideally you want to tie your PB every time, but that we even made it up there at all is pretty good, because I was really fearing that wasn't going to happen. Everything would be shattered from that fall, far more than just dignity. Twitch doesn't seem to like me very much, Omega says. I certainly hope that is not the case. Subject to me is legally distinct evil bubble factory. Make a Puyo Puyo clone. I don't think I've ever played Puyo Puyo. If you release your legally distinct clone on the Switch, maybe it'll be the first version of the game I ever give a try. I heard that and automatically tried to shove it into the cadence of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I don't know, the syllable count matches up exactly. Mean Bean Machine equals Evil Bubble Factory. Oh, is Mean Bean Machine a Puyo Puyo game? I've never played Mean Bean Machine either, but I can see the, I guess I can see the connection once it's explained to me. Yup. Who, me? I'm not Puyo Puyo. Puyo Puyo doesn't have a mustache. I'm not Pac-Man, I'm Missing Slice of Pizza Man. I think Shel Silverstein literally did that. In the book The Missing Piece. I think he literally did that. Somewhere I have Quirks for PC. It's Puyo Puyo. It has a picture of Alexei Pajitnov on the cover with the text Alexei Pajitnov, creator of Tetris, introduces. So I knew who that was. He didn't actually have anything to do with the game, though, right? Or did he? I don't know. I don't know if that was created as a joke or not. There were several puzzle games released on PC he didn't have anything to do with. Okay. I don't know how much he got paid to put his face on the box. Oh, so he did actually, like... So it was, he was actually paid. It was like where he was like... paid to put it. So I assumed that someone just put his name and face on the box, without permission. I assumed they were falsely crediting him to boost their own game, with no involvement or knowledge from him. Hey Leo, welcome in. Yeah, we're playing Jump King again. I'm torturing myself with more Jump King. Welcome in. Is that Pappy Van Poodle? Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We're playing this for a little bit longer. We're actually doing tonight's stream is a double feature, and we're actually going to switch over to the second game fairly soon. But I'm sticking with this a little longer. But we're also playing Warlock on the Sega Genesis tonight. So I gotta leave time for both things. I've been at this game quite a while though, and we're gonna play Jump King again on Friday as well. So it's getting a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more attention than I've been giving it the past couple of weeks. No. All the games involved were published by Spectrum Holobyte and had matching boxes, Enigma says. I've heard that name before. Maybe in a, I feel like I watched something about, like, the making of Tetris once upon a time. I think maybe that's probably where the name came up, was... Maybe somewhere in something like that. Pretty. pretty close to completely ignorant on most everything to do with retro PCs. My only real point of reference for the retro PC world is the Commodore 64, and even that I'm far from an expert in. I'm a very casual enthusiast of the C64. So a lot of what's out there and the companies that were big and what they produced is all sort of a jumble to me. Hey, I didn't think we'd make it back up here. I didn't think we'd make it back up here for a second time tonight, but we did. No, it's okay. That wasn't that bad, all things considered. We got, we got caught pretty early, so that's fine. Way over. That was crazy over. No! I disagree. I disagree. We were, I think, a screen away from tying our PB. anti-progress. I'm making anti-progress. That's alright. Well, we did alright for tonight, my friends. I think we're going to wrap Jump King here. We didn't give it a full 2 hours. We gave it a solid hour and a half. That's pretty good. I would say that's pretty good. We almost saw our PB, not quite, but got us. Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna move over to game number 2. I'm gonna move over to game number 2, a new game, Warlock on the Genesis. We're gonna take a little BRB. I'm gonna refill my coffee, and do a little behind the scenes setup maybe, to get us switched over to the actual Genesis. And fingers crossed. I hope this one works out for us. But we're gonna play Jump King again on Friday night. First part of the stream. We'll try to give it, assuming I don't get a late start. If I don't get a late start, we'll try and give it a little bit more time. At least the full 2 hours on Friday night, maybe even a little more. If it goes as well as it's gone tonight. It's actually gone really well tonight, so it's kind of a shame. It's kind of a bad move to put Jump King down right now, because it's been going well. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So thank you for enjoying this one with me, my friends, and there will be plenty more of it. 67 hours in. We're 67 hours in. I'm never giving up. We're gonna beat this, right? Our first playthrough took almost 93 hours, so we're still, like, time-wise, we're still not even in the weeds yet, technically. We're still on it. But technically, we're still on a good pace compared to that first playthrough. So, yeah, 1/10 of the way through. But thank you for being here for this. And if you want to check out this other game with me, it's Warlock on the Genesis. I know nothing about it. I'm just playing it because I know it's connected to the movie, which I just saw recently. And if you haven't seen Warlock, it's a fun movie. If you like goofy, awesome, like 80s, like modern, like urban fantasy type movies, it's really good. It might not be exactly the right genre, but close enough. Hope it doesn't soft lock. Oh, I'll cry 100 tears. That's a pretty good one, Game and Fit. All right, my friends. So short BRB. I'll see you again in a few minutes.